Hello folks, welcome back to the Vertigo Tea Party and a Let's Play Production Line. I want to apologize for the last video, well in the first video to a lesser extent, for some of the audio quality. I didn't realize I had my mic kind of high, so you heard probably a lot of the mic capping out. So hopefully that should be fixed going forward. I sure hope so, it's been driving me nuts. Anyway. So, at least on part of this video, I want to start addressing some of our inefficient resource problems here. I want to start figuring out what we're weak on and start getting those things in. So this says it's running low on wheels, but yet there's wheels here. See, this is what I don't quite get. Well, actually, this is not connected to that. What? What? I thought I did that. What's going on here? Oh, there's the problem. I'm a moron. God, I hate when that happens. Yeah, that would probably help, stupid. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it probably helps if you're going to connect your storehouse to the area that's going to be supplying the area with goods. You know, just a pro tip for you guys. Again, that's why you tune in. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this. Let's go ahead and throw some more storehouses down, because we're probably going to need a few in here, I imagine. Let's put the other one right here. Perfect. Just like I planned. We don't know what we want just yet. We're out of exhausts. This has exhausts. So damn it, you should not be running out of exhausts. See, I think part of the problem is they seem to have a very low stockpile that they can have in these areas. And there's no way, as far as I'm aware of at least, to expand that. So I kind of want to see, how are you still on? We need brakes now. I'm trying to actually visually see like what they have, so we can start figuring out like why it's running out of the stuff and how to avoid it. And it says it's out of tires, but it has 4 tires. See, I don't quite understand how it's deciding that it's out of stuff. Maybe it means it's going to need stuff soon? And you can see like the step that it's on up here. It's going to need steering wheels, which it's out of again apparently. It's almost like it's going to need a little bit of everything. So let's actually do that. This still has some space left. So let's add, what do we have? 0 stuff. How is it? See, I don't get, what does 2 mean? It says 2 plus and then 0. I would think, okay, so it looks like it's got a bunch of brakes in there right now. So that must mean, the first number must mean how many they have. And then the 0, I guess, is how many they're gonna need. Or how many are coming in. See, I don't quite get it. Let's actually watch. Let's figure this out together. So we're gonna need. It's probably gonna run out of wheels soon if it doesn't get wheels. It just got 2 wheels, but it still needs 2 more. Yeah. So, but it's got plenty of wheels here. Why is this not being delivered fast enough or faster? I do not understand how. It's definitely connected. You know what? I don't know if I've seen anything being delivered from here to that area. So I'm wondering if the problem is, like, it's bringing everything in from this side. Why does it not ever take from here? Or at least why is it not so far? Yeah, it keeps coming from way over there. Let's try this. Maybe something funky is going on with the pathing here. But it is refusing to take. Copy from slot. What does that mean? Copy requirements. Ah! So I can say, oh, you're right next to a rear arch thing. I can just say, you know, keep whatever you need for that. That's actually pretty cool. So this stuff is like going over here. Why? Why would it not go here? I don't know if that's an issue with how I've designed this, or if this is an issue with like the priorities. Again, maybe because it's connected to this, it automatically is going to grab that. If so, that's going to be kind of a problem. We're gonna keep making stuff here. Let's look down here where our insufficient resources. Well, again, the increasing our resources. No, it's actually doing. Oh wait, whoa! Why is this so backed up? Why on the earth? Why in the world? Waiting for next slot. Oh. What do we? Oh, the powertrain. Well then, just so happens we can make a new powertrain. See, now we're really seeing here the power of being able to break this stuff up, and why my idea would have worked if I had not completely and utterly screwed it up. Let's do. I try to make this the most efficient way possible, because if I put this here, what do we need for the engine? Powertrain, radiator, we need a lot of stuff. And it's definitely getting held up in here. Man, I have so borked this. Let's go ahead and make a powertrain here. Or another powertrain. Can we fit a radiator here? We can. Since we can't use this anyway, might as well. But that's all we can get. So we will drag you over here. You know what? Let's do this one piece at a time so it doesn't break. Yes, that should be right. All right, let's get the conveyor going. Oop, I forget you can't drag like through it. That's fine. Resource conveyor, please. Go ahead and connect some of these. I mean, because my idea is I would think I'd want to connect as many of these conveyors as possible so that the AI could theoretically pick the most efficient path. Now that actually might backfire and make it so it takes longer, but don't know. See, now here, I think if we're going to keep this factory, if we're going to keep this series going, I'm just going to have to unscrew this up, because this needs to be split into two, because that is really, really borking us. But anyway, oh shoot, we never did get any research. So the resource thing is not really a big issue over here. Yes, this is running out of resources, but it's already so backed up. It's just going to make it more backed up and end up being a zero-sum game, basically. I'm waiting for somebody else to run out of resources. You just did, I think. Sometimes it can be hard to click. I hate how when I try to click on these things, half the time I click on the damn car. All right, let's watch this go through a car. So again, the first number is how many it has. So that actually seems okay. It's running out of steering columns. I just got one. Running out of brake pads again. I feel like brakes is something we're running out of fairly frequently. Mostly because it needs 4, which makes sense. Tell you what, let's do a little experiment. This is the one that keeps running out of stuff. I'm going to put another supply stockpile right here. And we are going to say copy from slot, what is it, fit engine? Fit engine. Wish these were in order. I mean, they sort of are. They're in build order, but they're not in alphabetical order. Was it at the top? Front bumper. These might only be the broken down ones. I don't know. I didn't see fit engine. I could have missed it. I know every now and then I make mistakes. It's rare. It's very rare. Ah, there it is. The very last one. Nice. That's cool. I like being able to do that. Oh, and it automatically is smart enough to say, okay, since you're going to need more brakes, wheels, and tires, it actually puts the limit higher. That's pretty cool. So now we need to get it connected to our supply train. So the other thing is we only got this connected at one location. So it can only go out this way. So I'm curious to see if this actually doesn't fix this issue. And again, maybe this is an AI issue. Maybe this is me screwing up the build section for this issue. I don't know. But part of it, to be fair, like I said, this might be the last video we do. Just because I feel like I messed up that one area pretty badly. And it's going to take a lot of money to fix it. And if we do a second series, I'd rather honestly start with a large factory. Now that I understand how the game works and know like how I'd want to build. Now I can go in and go, okay. You know, make one, maybe like one line that's these simple lines. And then build the rest out such that I could expand them. Like I did with the original line. Or with the fourth line that I made. You know what I'm saying. So we've actually got everything so far. Let's go ahead and speed it up a little bit. Let's keep an eye on the supplies. Oh shoot, I still never researched. Bloody hell. Let's get them researching something, otherwise I'm just throwing money away. I'm trying to think what we end up needing a lot of. We obviously don't need to be making stuff that we don't use. We use a lot of brakes. Starting to make our own brakes. And let's go back to you. You seem to be one of our consistent problem children. Don't have a steering wheel. Ran out of brakes. They have such little room in here. I wish they had a little bit more storage. I wonder if that storage is like just enough for one car. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. And if so, I mean, that would kind of explain some of the weaknesses. So for example, let's say, and this is not the case, but let's say wheels, you needed 4 wheels as the first step for this fit engine block. So if it uses up the 4 wheels, but then doesn't bother requesting new wheels until that car is gone, then every new car that comes in is probably going to be missing wheels. Does that make sense? We have 6 brake pads in there now, which is good. Now, part of the problem too could be just keeping this stocked, right? But it's getting pretty full now, and I feel like looks like it's pretty good collection of stuff. It is pretty much at its limits for everything. So that's good. I don't know. Yeah, and it's maxed out. Okay, so now it's maxed out. So theoretically, this should not ever run out. Theoretically. Wait, what? It's waiting on this. And the painting, I told you, the freaking paint job. Oh, here we go. You achieved a landmark production of 1,000 cars and are well on your road to competing in the mass market. It's business in the fast lane from now on. Can you keep up? Actually, maybe not. Make sure we can't do any upgrades. Nope. They're actually running out of stuff. Oh wait, this is the paint. This is the paint. Yeah. So wait, predictive stock control. Damn it, it doesn't tell me here. Let's actually go and look at that predictive stock control real quick. Because I think now, after explaining what I just did, I think now I understand the predictive stock control, but I want to read it first. If I can find, there it is. Reorders resources at the start, not the end of the production cycle. See, that seems backwards. It seems like you'd want to order it at the end, right? Because when you're finished, now you need to stock back up. If you order it at the start of the production cycle, isn't it too late? Isn't the car already in the station? So now you're waiting on the parts to get there. Does that make sense? If I order the parts right as the car is leaving the station, it feels like by the time the next car comes in, theoretically, my parts are all in. I do feel like this is more efficient though. I do feel like it's keeping up a little bit better. Now, part of that is because this isn't going faster, but we had a pretty much non-stop supply of cars in here, so we shouldn't run out. We are out of radiators. Bumper output. The production line is ticking over nicely and the factory output is racing ahead, but don't take your eyes off of the road ahead. Produce 350 cars in 20 hours during a single game. Sweet. Well, like again, that's what we're focusing on, is making lots and lots of cars. They might not be the greatest cars. Now, I just ran out of brake pads and tires. God damn. I feel like I really just need to sit down and watch that, because I feel like it's not, I still don't fully understand how all that is working. So what can we make? Oh, we can make our own brakes now. So let's I want to see what else we're getting low on. What are these? Arches? All right, let's do that. Arches then. I think that was... Nope, there it was, I think. Well, actually, wait, can we make our own? There are spoilers, but that is different. Steering wheels, tires. Might do tires next. Now, computerized sails just make your sails faster. And I don't think that's really necessary because they're not getting backed up. So I'll tell you what, let's do tires, and then let's check our sails. Let's make sure that they're not falling behind. They could be because I had not been checking them as I should have been. Spoiler windows, where'd they go? Tires is what I need. So many things. Steering wheel, there we go, tires. All right, so this is definitely not getting backed up. Nor is this, because it has to go so far. Okay. I kind of want to make another quick one right here, but I want to kind of make some more. I want to make an actual factory, and I forget what I can make. I know I got the brakes. I think it was. Where is that? I think that's under. I don't know shit about cars, by the way. So yeah, that also makes it more difficult. Let's put this in the middle of brake area here. That makes the most sense. Got to give it a route to the stockpiles, of course, both for incoming and outgoing. So let's actually put this here. Oh yeah, wait, how did I not have that? Is it this? Oh no, the window's over here. Okay, I thought it was down here, my bad. Anyway, we still want to build some going out towards the storerooms. Or getting it. Basically, we won't be. Not only do we need some coming in to supply the make brakes, we also need to get them coming out. Did I put that at the right spot? Yeah, that should be good enough. And they make this stuff really fast, like really fast. To the point that you really don't even have enough room once it kind of gets going. But since I need 4 brakes, it actually might not be as big of a deal for here. Because before when I was making, I made something that was you just need 1 of. It kept running out of room to actually do that. Predictive stock controls, sure. Hopefully that helps. I'm spending 2,000 a pop. It better help. We got 12, 13 cars. I'm kind of wondering if I should lower my price a bit just so they sell more. But honestly, if we're not hurting for money, I mean, let them sit there for a little longer if I can make some more money. We're not in a need of a lot of capital right now. Or, is that the right word in this case? Cash? I don't know. Whatever. You know what I mean. All right, let's take a look at this. What are you waiting on? Waiting for next slot. Oh. Wait a minute. Are you guys actually moving? I have a feeling this might not be moving. Let me try to look at the arrows. I want to build everything that we need multiples of. So tires, wheels, things like that. Because that seems like what we end up needing the most. Actually, we need no more of those. Also, seats. Let's go with, oh, powertrain breaks down a lot of stuff too, doesn't it? Interesting. Steering wheel. Yeah, sure, why not? I was picking him at random. Yeah, I'm not actually sure this is connected properly. Because it just says waiting for a slot. And there's no slots open, but they usually take turns, so I kind of think it's not hooked up right. So I might have buggered that up. Again, it doesn't really matter because it's backed all the hell up anyway. Like I say, I kind of want to sell all this and remake, but it's going to cost a ton of money to do that. If we could hit like 1.5 million, and I'd almost take a loan out so we can do it. But anyway, let's see what else we can produce. Because like I said, honestly, I'm not sure I'm going to bother. Because I kind of feel like I've messed this one up bad enough that I feel like, you know, I'd rather just kind of start over at this point. But we'll keep going. We'll see what happens. And I've forgotten wheels? I think wheels is what I got. Yeah, make wheels. Let's see, we'll put this over here as well. In fact, they'll even share a supply line. I shouldn't even have to build one. Yep, already connected. Nice. Yeah, these guys actually can't make brakes fast enough. Interesting. So I'd actually need a second one to keep up with all the brakes we're manufacturing. But we're making the best brakes, damn brakes possible. Callahan brakes. You can see a steak from the inside of by sticking your head of a butcher's ass, but a bull's ass. But I'd rather ask the bull's word for it. No, oh god, damn it. Oh man, that movie is so great. I actually saw it again about a year ago. Tommy Boy, if you have not seen it. No export room. Yeah, see, no, the tires, or the wheels rather, manufacturer, they're actually running out of room. So I guess they could just make wheels a lot faster than you can make brakes, which, I mean, makes sense. Wheels are just circles, right? That's super easy. Get some rubber, make it into a circle, blow into it, boom, you're done. Brakes, probably a little bit more complicated. I wish you could expand the freaking inventory, though, on the... Wait, why does this have 2 predictive stock controls? That's weird. And 2 make alloy wheels. I kind of think that's probably not intended. Maybe. So they're slowly catching up on brakes, as I say, as they get taken away. All right, let's... Tell you what. Let's go ahead and unscrew this up. It's gonna hurt our money because, man, What is this one? That's not a quality check, I mean this. Electronics. Because the other thing is I break this out, I'm gonna have to redo this too. I don't know, I think we're just gonna leave this here. I think we might make this the last video for this series. If people really want to, I'll start a second series in a larger factory. But this is just gonna take so much time and money to unscrew up that I just don't feel like it's worth it, because I'm gonna have to destroy basically everything here is gonna have to be destroyed. And even then, we'll do a random, sure, roof. Even then, this is all cocked up. So if I want to fix that, I need to destroy some of this too. And I really need to. Like this is actually worse than what I did here, because I'd have to break down, I guess I'd have to just destroy the powertrains and then loop around and then start down here. But like I say, I honestly feel like that would be a little bit too tedious to do at this point. Let's go ahead though. Let's do this. Not hit the settings. We're actually gonna build another assembly line over here. A quick one. A quickie one, if you will. Because we're not producing enough cars, because our car manufacturer guy is not being overwhelmed. So we're gonna build chassis. We're actually gonna put a space between them though. Body. Paint. Shit. We're gonna have room. That's paint. We're not, are we? Because I've put extra room in between them. Yep, god damn it. I'm really good at macing this stuff up. We'll start from way down here. So, chassis. You kind of see what I'm talking about though, where like you need to know how big everything is and make sure to plan accordingly. Especially if you're gonna leave it in gaps. Body, paint, engine. Oh my god, did I? Well, Engine, let's keep going. Okay, it's not, well, it's not a huge problem. What is this? Engine, accessories. Electronics. And actually we can do quality check there. Conveyor this up. I know, no route to stockpile. I'm working on it. Give me a minute. Get the conveyor going. That's the nice thing also about building on these pre-existing lines. We'll connect these over here this way too. Wait, what? Oh, sometimes it shows the icon for the conveyor belt, even though you've got this picked. I think it might have something to do with just it being over a conveyor belt. I think it's just telling you you're building it over a conveyor. So yeah, just that took me 500,000. If I had to break it down, like destroy all this, which I would make some money destroying it all, to be fair, and rebuilding it, it would be kind of a pain. All right, so we're probably going to, we're almost certainly going to need a second paint station, because we already know that those will slow us down. Engine. I know, you're running low on resources, I know. Seats, sure. Now you see, again, why I would really like if research, if you could just like say, okay, build these 5 things next in this order. Just because it can be a little, especially at faster speeds, it can be a little tedious to go back in there. But again, I'm sure that's something we'll probably see in a later update. All right, so they're starting to do good on supplies. I'm waiting to see if these back up, and they almost certainly will. And when they do, we'll go ahead and build a second paint. Well, already, whoa, dang. Getting a lot of cars backed up. In the showroom, at least. I think we might start selling them for cheaper just to start getting them out the door. Yeah, let's do that. Are these all 40? Let's just reduce them. Because at that point, you got a question. Again, it depends on how bad you need the money, right? Like, one mentality is, I want the showroom to always have like one car at any given time, right? Because that's going to be almost technically like optimal, right? You're selling, like, you never have a back pile in the stock room. They're always going out, you're always making money. But the flip side is, if I've already got enough money that I don't have to worry about going bankrupt or whatever, is it better to sit on those cars for a little bit longer? Sure, a car maybe doesn't sell in 10 seconds, maybe it takes 2 minutes to sell. But if you're not hurting for money and you're not needing that money now, then what's the harm? Why lose that $2,000 or whatever it is when you don't have to? Yeah, when it's early and you're desperately needing money, or if you're making a big expansion or fixing a huge screw up, then yes, you need that money now, so you probably want to lower the prices. Otherwise, I think it's probably better to just sit on it. It's Ponzi. Potsy, not Ponzi. That's a scheme. All right, so what are we getting backed up on? Oh, we are getting backed up here first, the fit body. It's running low on resources. What are you running out of? Roofs, actually. Interesting. I'm about to make a roof factory. But in the meantime, let's make another fit body. A beach fit body. I'm so glad you don't have to worry about things like, oh, make sure that your workers have a path to get to their stations or anything like that. Thank God you don't have to worry about that. Especially for stuff like the factories. The factories in particular, it's nice not to have to worry about that kind of stuff. All right, I'm going to assume I can't, I don't think I picked make roof yet. Oh, I do. Because again, ideally, you'd have everything built in-house. And also, I would think, ideally, you'd want everything, the production facilities close to the actual things that need them. That's where things start to get tricky, right? Is trying to build your factory such that you can do things like this. You can split them up once you, because at some point you're going to have as max upgrades as possible. You have all the robots, you have all the dry, fast dryers, all of that crap. And you have to build a second one if you want to be efficient, because some things are just going to be faster than others. Oh, hey. I was like, man, I'm surprised this isn't backed up again already, but they were lacking robots. But at some point, there are some sections that are just slower, and I think that's fine. I think that makes sense. In a real world, your body construction section isn't going to be 100 exactly the same amount of time as your paint. Paint is just going to take a lot longer because of the drying process or whatever else. So I'm fine with certain sections taking longer because it's more realistic that way. And it adds some depth, right? Because if every section, and I'm calling sections like body, paint, engine, etc. If every section took the same amount of time, it would be unrealistic and it would not make it as strategic because if I need one body section, I need one paint section and one engine. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. But if paint takes longer, I know, okay, for every body, I need 2.5 paints. So if I build a second body, I need like 4 paint shops or whatever. You get where I'm going. I like that. It adds realism and it adds a strategic depth to the game as well. So it does look like paint is going to be slowing us down. So let's go ahead and build a second paint. Now this is where I think it really starts to get fun. When you start duplicating stuff over, I don't know why. I feel like that's fun where you're like, ooh, I'm seeing a discrepancy in our efficiency here because we don't have enough that we're producing cars so fast, but the paint is holding us up, and then building that out. I don't know why, but to me that's fun. Like that is where things get cool. And again, as it gets more and more in depth, you step back and look at it and go, holy shit, like this looks like such utter chaos with things going all over the place and like all these conveyor belts and shit flying all over the place, but it's not chaos. It's very methodical. I think that's freaking cool. Look at some of these cheaper ones. I should go for the more expensive ones. I think one thing I will do, if I do a second series, one thing I'll probably do is do a little experimentation to see if I can figure out what things we have serious problems with. Now we can sort by how many we have of X in stock at any given time. And that would probably help with this. So if, obviously if something is like always sitting at 0, that would be, good to know. I'd also like to see here, and like future updates, I would like to go into waiting for resources. Like, okay, I'm losing 10% of my time into waiting for resources. I'd love to be able to double click this and see on the chart what resources were missing, and ideally, if possible, what stations had the problems with waiting for resources and what resources they ended up needing the most. So let's say, for example, my body station, let's say 10, oh my God. Wow, that's really bad. But let's say my body station, 50% of the time it was insufficient resources, right? So I would like to break that down and say, okay, so of that time waiting for resources, 60% was waiting for doors and 40% was waiting for tires or whatever. So that way I could say, okay, well, the doors thing I've got to fix first, and then I know that tires is a big problem too. But if it's like 95% doors and 5% tires or whatever, then it's like, okay, well, I can fix the door issue, and the other thing is maybe small enough that I don't really worry that it's missing 2 seconds per car. Like blasphemy to say that, but drive shaft, first of all, LOL. Let's get the shaft. What are you talking about? I'm just talking about shaft. Let's see, what are you missing? Wheels! Wheels. You guys are making wheels over here, right? Make wheels, yeah. So you guys are not making wheels. fast enough. Let's make some more wheels. I do like that this is part of the game too, because initially I wouldn't have thought that making your own wheels and all of that would have even been part of the whole thing. But having the option to say, you know what, I want to make this stuff in-house. I want to make my own wheels. I want to make my own, brakes. Oh, no, I said make wheel, yeah. Just want to make sure I was correct there. Oh, damn, I thought I had made the stockpile. That's why I put it there. That's fine. There we go. So yeah, I like this idea of making your own stuff. So again, ideally, what you would have is something like this, where you got this all broken down and you can, split it out into, multiple bodies or whatever. And behind that, or to the side of that, or around it, like a satellite, like let's say I had two body shells here, right? And it's like, okay, they're producing pretty fast, but, I want to make my own shells, and I also want to make my own hoods. I could build the factories around this section, so that way there's a very, very short route that those items have to go. Because my inclination is to put all the factories over here so that they're out of the way, they're not blocking anything. But if I do that, they have to go all the way across the factory to get to the places that they need to go. And it would just be much better to get them imported, because the system's not smart enough to order them that far ahead. Now, you could argue, and I think this could also be a viable strategy if the AI is smart enough, which so far I've been pretty happy with it. You could put all your production over here, but then over here you have all your stockpiles. So you like have every single station surrounded by stockpiles that say that stock body shells and hoods and all this other stuff. That way it doesn't matter that it has to travel really far in order to get over here. It doesn't matter, because by the time it gets over here, it will have pulled it from the stockpile into the storage. See, that's the other nice thing you can see from these broken down sections, is they have a ton more room. This has 15 rear bumpers. They're not going to run out of bumpers anytime soon. The problem with, or one of the problems with these all-in-ones, is the space. They just don't have the space to hold all the stuff, so they keep running out of resources. So that is yet another reason why you want to break down things as small as you possibly can, is to have that backup room, because then you can have the factories. Who cares where you put them? You can just throw a few stockpiles if you want to be super safe, or especially for things like tires where it's going to need 4, right? Like, I don't think anything over here, let's actually watch it for a little bit. I don't think anything over here has had resource problems. Maybe when I very first put it up, but once it gets going, I don't think anything has had resource problems. And it's because they have so much room. Now, granted, of course, the traffic backup is also helping that, make that worse. By help, I mean make worse. But you can see with giving how much you can store, I don't think that's going to be a major problem. And this is where I really think the game seems simple at first, when you're laying down your very first track to build the cars, but I absolutely can see that it can get more complicated. Now, some might have an issue that, well, the problem is, by the way, I actually do see my money. We're actually losing a lot of money now. Did we lower the price on our cars? I think we did. Yeah, they're all at 35, I think. So I wonder if the problem now is, are we not selling enough versus like how much power we're using? So that's one thing I'm curious. I didn't see the comment, but I think somebody was saying that if you built your own power, you could actually like save money. I'm not 100% sure on that. But we are starting to see a problem, and I wonder if it's the power that's causing the issue. And it actually might work out, because this will give us a time to stop. Yeah, we're starting to run out of money. Let's lower the price of the cars more so they sell faster. See, but you're seeing these red selections. Those are items that are universal. So, and it can be a little confusing at first, because at first when I see red, it means, oh, this is not included in this car. But it is included because it's got the check mark. That just means it's universal. It's not hurting us that the heater is universal. It just means it's not helping us because it's expected. So if I uncheck it, then it will hurt us. But anyway, let's go ahead. We are going to research. How long has that been without research? Unlocks upgrade at slot high output power plant. Power production. So I think that might be the last thing we do. We should be able to survive. If not, I can go take a loan, I think. I still got a loan left, right? Yeah, I can still take another loan. What's the problem if you owe too much money and you're leaking money? Well, you take another loan. Take my financial advice, kids. Do not take that financial advice. Anyone ever. That's terrible. Oh shit, we got a stockpile here that I completely have not been using. Good thinking. Let's make that, let's go with the fit engine again. Just because. Wait, what? Oh, no, copy from slot. Hit the wrong one. Nope. God damn it. I think I have to delete it, yeah. Let's do it again. Let's try that again. I do like this feature though. I think it's a really smart feature. Being able to say, I need you to just store whatever this unit needs. I think that's a very smart feature. I love that. But yeah, we'll probably try making our own power. I want to see if that doesn't help. Can we see how much money our power is? Power purchase. Last 24 hours is 615,000. Wowzer, Batman. It's actually not, it's a fairly significant chunk. Components are costing us a good bit. So again, this is where, especially I think if you're going to mass produce cars, you can cut down on that cost by just manufacturing them yourself. Unlocks facility, high output power plant. Yes, let's do that. Wow, that's 3,000. Holy cow. You're definitely going to pay in research points. That's for damn sure. That's going to take a little while. We'll go ahead and speed her up to speed 3. But yeah, I'm really liking this game. Like I say, I did feel at first it was fun, but I felt, this feels a little shallow. Now that I'm starting to really see kind of the more mid to late game, let's call this probably late mid. I'm really starting to see, okay, now things are starting to open up where I need to decide, am I going to keep eating the costs and purchasing my parts from a third party, or am I going to start really focusing on building the stuff myself? Speaking of, I definitely think UI-wise, make stuff should definitely be split off. It should be different than this. It should be cut off from the build section, in my opinion. We can make a drive shaft. Drive shafts. You know, we're just going to put it down. We're just going to put it down somewhere. Wherever it'll fit, we'll quit. Damn it. I keep thinking I've got it in a route to the stockpile, and I don't. That's fine. So what else do we have? Because see, like, I don't remember what I've upgraded that I can actually buy. So I had to go into every one and go, okay, what did I upgrade? Oh, no. Okay, so we cannot make our own bumpers. That's interesting. Maybe that's just not in yet. Or there's a specific reason why we can't. Who knows? Who knows? Make roof. I think we did one of these, right? Factories are make wheel, make brakes. And power plant efficiency, unlocks upgrade at slot high output power plant. Let's go ahead and grab that. All right, let's try the power. Is it facilities? Yes. And it probably doesn't matter where we put it. I'm gonna put it over here. You just place down a power producing facility. The power created will offset your electricity bill and should be cheaper than buying it power from a utility. You will automatically import and pay for power you still need at the usual cost, but any surplus power can generate. Oh, any surplus power you generate cannot be sold. That's fine. Ah, okay. So we're working on getting that upgrade now. Let's actually go ahead and, oh, sweet. That upgrade is done already, which is not surprising. Let's go. Radiator, sure. Let's go ahead and slow it down again, just because, like I said, when I'm trying to build and think, like, especially when I'm trying to talk out what I'm doing, it's confusing. Oh, there's a high output power. Well, shit. Should have built that instead. I'm an idiot. Got that. I probably should have actually just sold that and put in the high power, but... So what happens, since we're kind of now in an experimental phase, we're generating about 1/3 of our own power. So I'm curious, well, we're not gonna really see like an immediate drop. But you should from the 1 hour. I'll be curious to see just how much that does drop. Definitely the power usage I'd like to see in a graph. Like how much, not power usage, but how much we're paying for power, rather, is what I'd like to see. How much are those, the high capacity ones? Because that, like, obviously that's the first time I've ever actually built a power plant. 76,000, wowzers, it is very expensive. But it's something, especially early on, like it's one of those things that the earlier you build it, the better, because you're saving that money on power earlier on. How much power does it generate? It'd be good to know for the future. 41? That's a weird random number. 41,000 or 4,100 power. That's with the power plant efficiency upgrade. So now I know going forward, if I make a new plant, I want to get a power plant or power generator very soon. Makes sense? Makes perfect sense. What are you guys running out of? Look like the drive shaft there. Did I end up making that factory? I think I did. No export room. Oh, that just means, for these, just means they've built so many shafts, LOL, that they cannot find anywhere to put them. Also, LOL. So that should not be a problem. Yeah, and I feel like when you really start to realize this type of solution, you definitely want to have those storehouses all around. And even for these, even the quickies, I'm starting to think it's better to just put storehouses there and then put the factory somewhere else, because otherwise, visually, it just becomes a mess. Like, without pointing at anything, where's my warehouse versus where's my brake manufactory versus where's the engine building, right? It's a little hard to distinguish them because they're all squished together. But if you had the stockpiles, separate like this, then it's, you can tell what the stockpiles are fairly easily. And then if you just slap all the factories over here, it doesn't really matter about distinguishing them, I don't think. Because once you've given them their upgrade for the predictive stock thing, it doesn't really matter anymore. So most of these lines are going okay. Again, the insufficient resources is kind of biting us in the butt. But that's a problem we're not going to be able to fix before we wrap up here. But yeah, I think we will go ahead and wrap the series up. Definitely let me know what you guys think. I mean, I don't think this was a complete failure, but it's one of those like learning, like it was a learning run, so to speak. Even more so, well, just like kind of my other ones were, right? Where it's like, okay, I did some stuff, I've learned some things that were successful. Like this is the first time that I've really successfully been able to split out things like this to this degree. And the first time I've like really delved into creating my own engines, using the warehouse or the storehouses, things like that. This is the first time I've really started to do that. And I also learned that these broken up lines are even longer than I thought. So it's very, very important that I make sure to factor that in when I'm building it, and to make sure that I don't bone myself by blocking these incredibly important export sections. So I definitely feel like I've learned a lot, and it's like, yes, I could fix a lot of the problems that I've made so far, but at this point, it would just be easier just to make a new one. But I definitely like this game quite a bit. I think I said before it was 20 bucks or 15 bucks. I think it's actually 20. Don't quote me on either of those numbers. I should have checked again. Sorry. But just check on the Steam page. I definitely think it's a fair price. And again, it's in early access. But even from what I've seen, I feel like this is a game, if development stopped today, yes, there definitely could be some polish and some more depth put in for sure. And I feel like it might be a little bit too easy because we are definitely suboptimally built. But I can go AFK now and probably be okay. We're starting to be a little tight on money with our latest additions because they're not paying off as much as they should because I can't produce the cars fast enough. The power is starting to be a problem, things like that. But I could mostly AFK even with a pretty badly built facility. And I know money-wise, I'm all right. I'm going to make it. It's not going to be a problem. So the tuning there could be nudged a little bit, and I definitely understand that's a very difficult thing to get right, between making it crushingly difficult to get past, especially the early stages, and making it, again, an AFK car factory, which honestly, the AFK car factory in itself, I don't have a problem with, because sometimes it's fun to just kind of stop and sit back and just watch your factory go. I'm just going to put it at slow speed so I don't get the research pop up, and so that I can just watch my cars getting made. But yeah, I definitely I'm very interested to see what the developer comes up with next as far as the future updates. Again, I feel like it's worth buying now, if development even stopped today. I think there's enough variation I could build, maybe not much more than 20, but I definitely feel like I've very much had my fun with this game, and I could see starting from scratch and still having fun and building on my knowledge to make an even more efficient, bigger, impressive factory. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Definitely let me know what you think of the series, or of this series in the comments below, and of the game as well. Like the videos if you like them. It does help me out a bunch, and I'll see you guys in the next series.